Well, good morning everybody, and welcome to the Guy Harvey home studio, emphasis on home. Been at home now for 20 odd days. Been very rewarding from many perspectives in terms of the amount of art that I've been able to accomplish, the amount of writing of the new book, putting this home time to really good use, and I hope all of you are too. It's really important that you make use of this home time. And anyway, so last week we left it with a plan. I had started by showing you how I do the background of one of these 40 by 30 canvases. We started out with this Marlin doing the silhouette, it's the blue, with the background, the foam, the surface, and the background water. But as things do, my thought about what I would do changed. So we're actually, over the weekend, I turned this picture into a sailfish, added another. I'll probably add a third because I'm creating a whole different predator-prey interaction here. And I'm going to go through it step by step with you in a second. But some of you will be wondering what happened to the big piece that was here. Well, I've been working on it for weeks, and so here it is. I was just telling you on Friday how these big pieces can be a handful to move around if you want to take them to a framer or get it shipped somewhere. So this is the easiest way for me to carry big paintings with a pole, and you can see I'm telling the truth. Here's the piece. And so for any of you who are trying to make up your mind about how big and how limiting a big piece may be in terms of selling it or in terms of moving it around, it's pretty easy. It took me half an hour to get it off the stretcher and roll it up, and it's ready to go.
Great.
The next step with that would be to go to the office when we can fly again and have it photographed and digitized so we can use it for different products. So Jess, what have you got to say today?
Yes, good morning everyone. Thank you everybody for signing into this morning's session of our Facebook Lives with Dr. Guy Harvey as he's painting away. If those of you are joining in for the first time, don't worry, you won't miss a session because you can go back onto Guy Harvey's Facebook page and see all the posts that we did last week. It was featured every day at 11 Eastern Standard Time. And this is our last scheduled session for now, but we would love to hear comments if you guys would like to see this continue. We're thinking of expanding it for a longer term series, and have been encouraged by all the wonderful messages we've received. Thank you so much. And while everybody is on lockdown, we're thinking of you all. We know that this is a rough time for everybody, but I appreciate everyone's ability to make the most use of their time by spending it with family, learning something new. And so without further ado, wow, a lot of people are interested in buying this piece, Dad. So just so you're aware, these pieces will be available on guyharvey.com once they're finished, and you can see all the art pieces that are available for sale. Is that true, Dad?
That's true indeed. And the reason I'm doing this piece is because I've been working on Marlin for a few weeks now. You kind of want to move on to something fresher. Even though the brush strokes were fun and some of the pen work. This is a typical predator-prey interaction with which I've dived many times, mostly in Mexico, Venezuela, Costa Rica, places like that. But this is in the Atlantic, and I've left a bit undone over the weekend. I mean, I worked hard to get this ready for you guys to get to this point, so that I can add some, I want to do the eye first of all, then I'm going to paint the body a beautiful bronze color that the sailfish exhibit. We've got to do the big pelvic fins, and we can talk a little bit about their behavior, their feeding strategy, and what they eat and why they eat it, and how we can access the animal to get this kind of idea. And many of you may have seen a lot of footage in our previous documentaries about this, but I never get tired of doing this. I never get tired of painting the big fish. I like the movement in here, the drama created by these sardines. These are going to be in the background. I'll do more fish over them in the foreground with more detail, more stuff on their face. But let's get going now on the eye. And this fish looks a little impersonal right now because the pupil isn't there. So I'm going to paint the pupil now, and it gives it as you'll see, as it takes 10 seconds to do, but it gives the fish life. It gives it character. And it's, for me, it's the most, the key part of the whole painting is to get the eye and the expression. So Jess, I don't know if you want to zoom in a little bit.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll wait till you get closer.
Yes. So just bear with me 1 second, everybody. It's gonna be a bit weird as I move off the stand. There we go. Lots of people saying good morning. We have a Guy Harvey from Zimbabwe.
Oh, wow.
How funny.
Yep. Hello, Guy Harvey.
We have people from Alabama watching. Good morning, everybody. Carol is asking, have you ever painted deep sea fish like anglerfish, viperfish, gulper, eels, etc.?
No, not yet.
Not yet, still to be done.
Anyway, so I've just done the first layer. This is purple, by the way, it's not black. And remember, I was talking about how I don't use black, but I'm going to use like 3 layers of purple to make this look like it's black. But there you go. If you stand back again now, Jess, you can see that fish, watch the stand, has now got life. It's a living, breathing, swimming fish. And anyway, so there we go.
Yeah, no,
so
it's
I'd
great.
let that dry
Cardis is, thank you so much for signing in. For all those who've been consistent fans over this last week, it's great to see you back. He says, beautiful painting. Joseph from Florida says, beautiful work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joseph.
From Charlotte, people from Charlotte. Amber is, you've come a long way since the University of Aberdeen.
Wow. Blast from the past.
I tell you. Yes, no, lots of people signing in from Texas. Hello, everybody in Texas. Hope that you guys are safe. We have, Jason from Koiba.
Oh,
very
cool.
nice.
Hi, Jason. So here we go with bigger brush. This is a 1/2 brush I'm using. And I'm just gradually going to work my way down the body of this fish. But I've left some canvas white here with no paint on it at all, so that the bronze kind of, the white pokes through the bronze and gives it a brightness that I really want. Because in reality, the skin it's almost iridescent or metallic on these fish, and it changes depending on the angle of the light on the fish, and the color changes depending on the excitement of the fish. So I got to go around you.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. And there's so many things at work here that you learn having been with them for so long, because you don't capture these little nuances on film. Film is very poor at sort of collecting and recording the iridescent essence of the color changes of billfish. Some of them are very black when they start feeding. And this week over the weekend I was writing on the chapter from Costa Rica on the blue marlins, and we dive with so many blue marlins there. But when they come up on the teaser or on a bait, they're jet black. There's no counter shading between a dark back and light sides and light stomach. They're completely black, and I've seen sailfish like that too. And so you wonder why, how do they A, execute a color change like that, and B, what's the advantage, what's the evolutionary strategy behind this dramatic color change? And you don't see it that much in other oceanic predators.
And you can see some of these color changes that he's talking about on Guy Harvey, on guyharvey.com, as well as the Facebook from our expeditions in Costa Rica, where we do film these color changes. It's absolutely remarkable, especially when everything is black except the tail and the pectoral fins, which are the most iridescent purpley blue you've ever seen. Hey, Dan?
Well, you said it. I mean, there's no paint that can paint that. There's no film that captures that and makes it look like it's a light bulb going off.
Yeah.
But here we go. So I've used a very watery paint. A lot of people asking me in the past, how thick do you do it? Well, this is very, very, very watery. And the one thing you don't want it to do is to kind of bubble up or run. So, and then we're going to add a light touch here to the operculum. You see it's very faint, almost a dry brush. And now some of them have very bronze cheeks or opercula. Some have silver, some have just purple, depending on, again, how they catch the light. But you see, in a matter of 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I've added the eye, I've added this color variation along the flank, and it's made it a completely different fish already. And then you stand back and have a look.
Okay, standing back, everybody, so
Yeah.
you can see.
And what's happening here too is that this definition of color sets this fish apart from the one in the background. And the one in the background, these guys normally travel in groups. I'm not going to say schools, they travel in groups. But this guy in the background here, he might have a little bit of tiny touch of the same color in there. I'm just going to give a little hint of it. But because he's further away, it's more pastel, and this is the typical color you will see them swimming along in the open ocean without interacting with any prey species. They kind of merge with the background. So this is a very conspicuous color scheme, and of course we can add stripes to this as well, and I'll do that in time.
So why do you say group as opposed to school?
Well, a school of fish, by definition, is a group of animals all facing in the same direction, moving at the same speed together in a cohesive school, and they often turn and move as one.
So like these fish that are here.
Right. So they would be a school,
Okay.
and there's going to be a lot more of them too.
Okay.
But the orientation is of course, it's got to be polarized, i.e. moving in one direction, and in unity.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like the stingrays, in the old days when we saw the stingrays in the schools in the early morning at the sandbar, here.
Yeah.
Well, that's not really a school, that's an aggregation, because stingrays they're solitary predators, and so they don't normally ever school. The only place they've ever got together in an aggregation is here at the sandbar in the early morning.
Right.
By the way, what's the update on the stingrays? Have you heard?
We're expecting an update from the Cayman Islands Department of Environment soon. They are feeding them on a regular schedule, so they will be posting some updates on that sometime this week. So the site is being maintained and they're being looked after, which is good.
Well, that's pretty important. They can feed for themselves, but it's nice to have that sort of site fidelity maintained.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going to do next. I'm going to do a little bit more of any other questions, Jess?
Yes, I was just about to say, do you mind if I read a few?
Yeah.
Irene is asking, what kind of bronze are you using? She's from St. Augustine. Hello, Irene. Thanks very much for your question.
So have I just ruined this painting, or am I doing something different? I'm doing something different.
What do you mean?
These are the pelvic fins, the sailfish.
Oh, I see. But did you hear? What bronze or what?
I'm going to show you what I use. I was explaining how I watered down the color. It's a Liquitex. It's called a burnt sienna.
Okay.
And then on my palette, it's just a lump, and I water it down really.
Okay.
Very watery, and I might do another layer on that.
Okay.
To see how it dries out.
Great.
Yeah.
And then we have a lot of people who have seen you at SeaWorld and Busch Gardens said to say hello. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to support during those signing sessions. It's great to always meet you all.
You make the events for me.
Missy is asking, hi, Guy, how is Jess and Alex? I'm behind the camera, Missy. Hello. We're doing well, thankfully. Alex is doing well, and he is learning the ropes of being a new dad. Surprisingly good. So it sucks because we can't go and see Harper, but everyone else is in the same boat. So thankfully we have the internet to keep us going. Dana says, hi, my 8-year-old fishing girl, Taylor from New Orleans, is watching. Hello, everybody. Hope you guys those of you who are able to go out on the water, enjoy it for all those who can't, like us. And when you're out there, be mindful of how you fish, where you fish, what the regulations are, so that you can promote being sustainable fishing groups. Josh says, hello from Costa Rica, pura vida indeed. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of people from Pembroke Pines. Mike says you need a remora.
I do. Good spot, Mike.
There you go.
Every billfish has a remora, except, well, it's not really a billfish, but swordfish, which are similar to billfish, they obviously don't have remoras. And can you guess why?
Oh, no. Why?
Because they swim so deep in the ocean, the remoras could never keep up or stay on the host.
Okay,
These
great.
billfish are what you call epipelagic. They live near the surface of the ocean, and so remoras can stay on. And remoras, you only ever get 2 remoras on a billfish. You never see 3, so it's a pair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very
Oh,
interesting
that's
study
interesting.
done by John Graves from the Virginia Institute of Marine Science on them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So here I'm doing the big pelvic fins that look like a strap or a belt, and they hang down, and they're obviously movable, but it's a single fin ray with a membrane that will go up and down. It can actually fold into the body, as does a dorsal fin. So when the sailfish are swimming really fast, this fin is down, these fins are up, the anal fin might be up, and so it's really a javelin with a tail. So
Wow, that's
just imagine
really cool.
this fin down and these fins up, and this guy in is just a body, is a sharp body with a big propeller and a pointy end.
Wow.
And they go really fast.
They're considered the fastest fish in the sea,
They are,
right?
certainly. And we have seen them in Mexico once, sometimes where they break off the school of sardines from a bigger school so they can manage it better. And often the sardines will try and dive down, and the sailfish will really go fast after the school and get under it and drive it back to the surface.
Wow.
So they're trapped.
And then the birds come in after that, right? Creating a feeding frenzy.
You know how it goes, yep.
So if anyone is interested in seeing, there's a really cool video on the NSU Guy Harvey Research Institute's page of our project in the Eastern Tropical Pacific, and some of the bruv work that PhD student is doing. Tyler is he's filmed. There's a really cool video of him creating and deploying a bruv, and it captures some really neat behavior on sailfish, on the Pacific sailfish, talking about, what are these called again? Pelvic fins, and how they move. And it's really amazing. It's not something that obviously you can see all the time.
Are you talking about the accelerometer camera that Ryan?
No. This is the bruvs. Okay. This is, yeah. So it's really, yeah. So if people are interested, do check it out. We've got a couple of people from Cayman, some from Canada. It's wonderful to see you guys all signing in. Thank you so much. It makes this place seem a little bit bigger than an isolated room. We have hello from the Port Antonio International Marlin Tournament Board. That's Stephen. Thank you so much.
Hi, good morning.
And Trent is watching. Hello, Trent.
Trent.
Let's Eat's asking, what are the pectoral fins for?
I'm doing the pelvic fins right now.
I mean, sorry, pelvic fins. Sorry.
That's a very good question, because they don't really give that much sort of lift or hydrodynamic advantage. We think they're more for making the fish look bigger.
Right.
And so that when they find these bait balls they get up to them, they flare, all the fins go up. Mm-hmm. So as I was saying before, when they're swimming, they're like a javelin, but when they're maneuvering, they got fins up, and they make themselves look, as you can imagine, 3 times bigger than they really are. So the visual impact of the sail, and the sail itself is just a membrane. It has it's supported by fin rays, about 35 in Atlantic sails and about 45 in Pacific. And it's just like the spokes of an umbrella.
Right.
Because this is floppy. It doesn't really perform any.
And that's why we can't put tags in it, right?
Exactly right. So it's just like skin, 2 sides of skin.
Right.
But it's black, and it can change color. It has spots on it. It can light up at the front end, go fluorescent. But the fins that really do the hard work are the pectoral fins.
So these ones,
right?
Here.
They provide lift. Though the sailfish and marlin can flatten them against their body as well for streamlining. They provide lift, and then the anal fin is a stabilizer. Along with, they often swim with the front end of the dorsal up, and the rest of the sail down, so that the front end, it makes it look like a marlin, and it provides stability vertically up in the water.
Right. And if you want to see an example of that behavior, there's a really cool video of marlin on a line that was being filmed by Jim Abernathy, correct?
Oh, yeah.
And it was swimming along, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a mako shark comes up, and you just watch the video and you can see that the marlin sees it first, and all of a sudden he's on his side, but then he stops and he flares up everything to make himself as big as possible, which demonstrates the behavior you were just talking about. Really interesting. I think you can see that on the Guy Harvey YouTube channel if anybody is interested. Very cool.
Cool, yeah.
We have a lot of people saying thank you so much for sharing these paintings and filming. And Barbara is saying, I've been painting seascapes as a way to de-stress. Do you find painting relaxing?
I do, very relaxing indeed. Painting is always relaxing. And actually, while I have this extended home time, once I get through the bulk of the book, what I would like to do is try a few seascapes myself. Going back to the days in Jamaica, working with fishermen. One of the scenes I'd love to do is of fishermen hauling a beach seine net with the boat, the canoes in the background, the clear turquoise water, and maybe a rainstorm in the background to give that contrast. I've always wanted to paint that. I take pictures of it often enough and say I'll get to it, but I never do because there's just so much else going on.
Sure.
Anyway.
So Lewis from London is saying hello. He says, my 9-year-old Georgia did an underwater painting after watching last week. Can't seem to share the picture here. But so for those of you who are painting and want to share your work, please do. Yep. You can tag us. And I hope I'm saying this correctly because I'm still learning my ways around social media. I feel like Alex is going to get annoyed if I say this wrong. So apologies in advance. But I think you can tag us at Dr. Guy Harvey or tag Guy Harvey in your painting so that we can see it. And then that way people can share their artworks and compare notes and just have a bit of fun, which we love too.
We do.
So Gina's asking if I can drop the pin for the website. I'm not going to lie, I have no idea how to do that on this Facebook Live session. So I will try to figure that out in this time, but if not, then it's, if you follow us at Dr. Guy Harvey or myself at Traveling Jess Harvey, there will be links and I will send links that way too. The website is www.guyharvey.com. Or if you want to see some of our educational stuff as well, which is a bunch of new educational videos that are up there on artificial reefs, mako sharks, white sharks, food webs, you name it, it's there. And they're all bite-sized pieces of videos. And that's on www.ghof.org. And you can get a link to that from the Guy Harvey website.
On that note, Jess, I want to thank George Schellinger, our producer, because George comes on all these expeditions with us, as you know, and he's a great cameraman, a great companion, great diver, and an artist in his own right. And of all the stuff you see of us, you hardly ever see George in the final product, but I want to thank him and bring him to the forefront because he does, and has done for 10 years, such an excellent job with us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, George. And just going through these questions. Tammy is saying hello from West Grove, Pennsylvania. This is quickly becoming my favorite part of being quarantined. Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful talent. You're most welcome. I'm glad it's been of help. Kyle's asking, do Lancet fish have big fins for the same reason as you were describing earlier? What is a Lancet fish?
A Lancet fish is a mesopelagic fish. So it lives, 500 feet down to 1,500 feet down, 2,000 feet. They're a medium predator down there in that realm. They do have a long fin. They also have very big teeth. They have no bill, but they're shaped a bit like a scabbard fish or an oarfish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Andy March's oarfish. Yeah. If he's watching, I still remember that loss of bet.
What was that?
Because I will never make that mistake again of thinking that you didn't know what some of the names of the deep sea fish, and of course I was proven wrong within half a second. So owed him a case of beer.
And it was right tip, I hope.
Yes, exactly. So Kathy is asking, when did you start painting? And Buddy's asking, what artist has influenced your work?
Oh, wow. Well, I started painting from as early as I remember, maybe 5 years old. Mm-hmm. I think we went through that on Friday with the island.
Yes.
The
Oh,
island,
can I
growing
show
up
them?
island,
Can I show them Ruli's
yeah, of course,
flag?
yeah.
So
Hold on,
Ruli.
let me answer the
Oh,
question.
sorry. Okay, sorry.
And secondly, other artists. I'm always impressed by authenticity, anatomical accuracy. Being a scientist myself, so I do follow people who do a good job with that. There are not very many in my realm in terms of aquatic painting, but certainly in terms of terrestrial wildlife, there are many. And I think one of my favorite artists and my mentor is definitely Kent Ullberg from Sweden, who is, there's several of his pieces around here. You might show them the swordfish later or the marlin. But
Yeah.
he...
I'm going to just quickly show them
okay.
for people. So he is another incredible sculpturist. Sculpturist? Is that the right word? Sculpture, sorry.
Yeah.
So this is one of his pieces there, and he has his own website. But they're really amazing, and the detail in the iron in the work is just amazing. And he's been all over the world as well. So
yeah,
definitely something to check out. If any of you are sculptors or budding sculptors or
Right.
thinking of checking it of trying it out for the first time, he's a good person to look up.
So that's Kent Ullberg, Ullberg.
I think it is. I'll
Yeah.
try and find his book as well so that people can
We
see.
got it here. But he's come on many expeditions with us and done some great gamefish pieces. And the main reason why people ask me why I don't do sculptures is because A, I don't have the time, but B, Kent does such an amazing job. I collect his work. I'm just in awe, even though it's a completely different medium. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's the thing too, I think, is what's wonderful about art is that it's such a wonderful way to not only express yourself, but also showcase the same thing in a variety of ways. So as you see, you can do it via the way that Dad's doing on art. You can do it via the way Kent Ullberg is doing it in sculpture. And I just want to showcase, which nobody I don't think has ever seen, so you guys are very lucky to see this, but this is a picture of Dad and his mum, Josephine Cruikshank, and she did this for Dad, which is amazing, needlepoint. So it's a lost art, unfortunately. Some people who have maintained it, kudos to you guys, but the detail of this is amazing. And just a quick shout out to her because she was an artist in her own right. And
Absolutely.
did some...
So here I'm quickly doing
here you go.
some stripes. The stripes on billfish vary from very pale to very bright fluorescent blue. Sailfish have more spotted stripes. They're not really a line as such, as you see in a blue marlin or a striped marlin. And they help give a degree of sort of 3D effect because they kind of follow the contour of the body. And of course, they can make the body... I'm foreshortening this fish because it's kind of coming at you and then turning.
Okay.
And so the addition of these stripes and the sunlight, which I'm going to add to in a bit, well, we're kind of running out of time. But if you stand back a bit, Jess, you'll see that the way you do these spots kind of helps to make the body look like it's going away from you toward the tail, and it's turning away.
Okay.
So there we go.
Awesome. Sharon, just a quick question. Sharon's asking, the license plates you have in Florida, where do the proceeds go? Great question. Those proceeds go into our educational and research initiatives. So you can go on to by the foundation. Mm-hmm. And they also help sponsor our scholarships that we help with as well. And it adds to the proceeds that we put in from a portion of the proceeds of every bought Guy Harvey merchandise. And as much as there's a lot of descriptions in terms of those projects. So have a look on ghoof.org to see the list. If you have any questions about specific projects, feel free to send them in and we can answer as many questions as we can. But our mission is to ensure that the next generation has a naturally balanced and healthy ecosystem. And in order to do that, we have to invest in accurate scientific research, as well as educational initiatives. And that can be anything from this to big events that we hosted. March for us in Cayman is Ocean Conservation Month. Unfortunately, a lot of those events were paused due to the coronavirus situation. So I emphasize paused because we feel that we're going to definitely do that later on in the year. So keep posted on all the social media channels to find out more. But we do a lot of, as Dad mentioned, we do a lot of research on pelagic species, including sharks and billfish. Go on to NSU's Guy Harvey Research Institute's tracking page to see some of those tracks if you'd like. There's a bunch of different species on there, and some of them have the most amazing tracks. And we've also got projects around the world. So they're being put to good use, and we are always looking for ways of improving and expanding. So we appreciate everybody's support with supporting the brand, supporting our efforts, and people who are on the stream.
But just to add about the license plates, a lot of people do ask me, well, how can I help your foundation? And as Jessica said, education is a bigger component now than research. But an easy way to do that is to buy the specialty license plate in Florida, because it's an annual thing. You don't have to think about it. It's a small contribution, but you are making a big difference because tens of thousands of people sign up for that. Plus, the plate looks really good, I have to say.
Yeah. No bias there.
Yeah, well, so here we go. We're just about running out of time now. So
okay.
I've done a lot of the key things. I left them pending just so that you guys could see what it is to turn a tube of meat into a real fish in about half an hour by putting in the eye, adding the bronze stripe, which can be a lot darker in different fish. I mean, it can be very, very deep bronze sometimes. Adding the pelvic fins, and creating some movement. So I will finish this off today or tomorrow, and we'll post the end result. I've got a lot of bait fish to do up here. That's a really time-consuming part because all these little fish, little faces, little fins, it will have to be done. And I might add another sailfish in the deep background here. I should have done it before, but looking at the space available, I might or might not do that. But so here we go. So these, just to remind you, Atlantic sailfish, Yucatan, Mexico, or Florida, you see this a lot, and sailfish working on a bait school of Spanish sardines up here. Mm-hmm. And so, great.
Yeah, okay. So just to finish up then, I just want to say thank you everybody for tuning in. If we didn't get to all your questions today, I apologize in advance, but keep them coming. We'll try to answer as many as we can. And if you, maybe I should go like this.
There you go.
Hi! So turn this way, guys, because probably the light's a little better. Maybe I can, hold on. I don't know if I can, yeah. No, I can't change it around. Still figuring this out, but just want to say thank you everybody for joining us this last week and today. We aren't going to start every day this week because we're going to look at the schedule and figure out what makes the most sense. And if people still would like us to do this, we encourage you to send in comments so that we can tailor it accordingly. And
yeah, as well as suggestions about other animals, other types of art that you haven't seen yet, maybe in the last 6 or 7 episodes that we've done. We can get into other species and other, like I said, inshore fish. Do a lot more shallow reef, seagrass, mangrove type habitats.
okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be something to look forward to.
Yeah.
But before we go, we just want to reiterate how thankful we are to everybody who is doing their part to stay safe, and especially to the people on the front line. You know, we have it easy. We're so lucky, and we don't forget that, and we are thinking about you all the time. And we hope that all of you stay safe. And to those who are suffering or have already passed, your thoughts, our thoughts are with you and your families, and we want to send our condolences because it is a hard time. And we are only going to get through this if we keep together. So thank you so much. Be safe. Good luck. And
Thank you.
we'll see
Have a
soon.
great week.
Bye.